Okay, we're going to call to order the Town of Lloyd Board Workshop meeting for February 5th, 2025, and I'll ask Councilman Frano to lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, as normal with the workshop, we'll go through all the reports first, and we have some old and new business and resolutions, so we'll... What's this? Oh. We will start off with Dave Barton, Building and Zoning.
Thank you. Last month was busy. You see from the report, the numbers were actually a little high. 5,000 came in for rec fees, which kind of pushes that number up. So relatively a busy month in terms of revenue. Busy month in every other possible way as well. My office, since the new wetlands law went into effect January 1, there's a relatively steep learning curve. We've been taking webinars, trainings on all that. We are still working on the floodplain management update as a result of the DEC community assistance visit from last year. We do have a new form. In the past, what we would do is we would take a floodplain development permit and basically wrap it under a building permit, because that's how we track things. We've now split that off completely at the DEC's suggestion and just track it separately completely. It'll still stay under our parcel tracking software because it's usually attached to a parcel, but now it's separate, and the DEC would be happier, and actually it'll end up being easier for us. There have been two court actions. I briefed some of you on this. Actually, I briefed the board on this. We had a next hearing for One Lockhart, which is the multifamily that was converted via no permits from a single family. We've had multiple hearings. The next appearance is on February 21st. Thankfully, we now have Sean with us. He's working on a bunch of legal things that I'm not going to pretend to understand, but he's working on it, and it'll make our lives before the judge much easier. 6-8 Bell, which is the other one that did get a permit but never called for any inspections and then allowed tenants to occupy the building without a certificate of occupancy. The first court date for that is tomorrow at 3 p.m. So we'll see what happens with that. That'll be, it's really the same situation. Buildings occupied without certificates of occupancy so that we can make sure that the tenants are safe. Any questions?
No, it's just a couple of days. First of all, is January normally that busy, or is that just an anomaly?
It's an anomaly.
Just
Yeah,
an anomaly.
yeah. Well, I mean, we've been pretty busy, but this is. I would have expected something closer to like 12,000,
Right.
13,000. But
Right.
we're just busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's more stuff. I mean, Dave, you've been involved in some of those discussions. A lot of stuff coming.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Very good. Anybody else have questions for David?
Dave, when you were at court the other day with that landlord that was in violation, didn't acquire permits, and then there was an electrical problem. Now, the tenants are allowed to still remain in that building?
Yeah. So what happened with that situation? That's 6-8 Bell. There was a report of no heat by a tenant. My office went to the building because we were invited by the tenant, and they had possession of the unit, so we're allowed into that unit. Fortunately, we were able to contact the other tenant and got into that unit. Electric heat, problem with the electrical heat was that the circuits were overloaded. So we sent the order to remedy out because that's a life safety issue. We said do that right away. We don't even go through the complaint process. It goes right to order to remedy. That went out. Didn't hear back, and then there was a fire call for smoke coming from the panel. So my office responded after the fire department called, and we basically told the people the power's off. Central Hudson came. We had them disconnect the power at the street, at the pole, at the street. So there's no heat and no electricity in the building. That is, basically, that's why we placarded the building as an unsafe structure. That doesn't kick people out, though. People stayed. Yeah, people stayed. And they went out and got propane heaters, which drive people like me in life safety services crazy, because it's really easy to screw that up and produce carbon monoxide and kill yourself, in addition to the fire hazard. So we had had about enough at that point when we found out people were still in the building using propane heaters. So we recontacted the property owner, or attempted to recontact the property owner, who we had no contact with to date. So tomorrow will be fun.
People are still in the building.
They are now, because what happened was, somehow the property owner must know, because he got a contractor to come to my office to pull a separate building permit for the electrical upgrade. And so they had an electrician go in, they basically pulled all the wires out of the building, replaced a panel, upgraded circuits so that the electrical heat, that's in the walls, functioned correctly. And then we had a third-party electrical inspector go in, they called for it, to certify that the work was done that was safe. So that's why we would allow the building to remain occupied pending this court case. Because kicking people out in January can be tough.
So the town's responsible, God forbid something happens.
The town is not responsible, not for any electrical fires now. We had a third-party electrical inspector, so I have a certificate from them. They're the underwriters, so they're the insurance underwriters that sort of protect the town, because the liability is just too great to do electrical inspections. So, yeah, so we're relatively confident that the building is safe from electrical fire, and now we're just waiting to, figure it out in court.
Okay, we'll see you again at new business
Yeah,
time.
new business, yep.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Andrew, welcome. Good to see you again.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am your dog control officer, and I'd like to read my report here. This is the monthly report for January 2025. We received a total of 18 calls this month, including 3 calls of service from either the Lloyd Police, State Police, or Ulster County Sheriff. Responded to 3 active complaints that are now closed or resolved. Currently have 1 open case going on regarding a dog bite that took place at the end of last year. We impounded 1 dog this month. That dog was turned over to the SPCA in Hudson Valley, which is actually Orange County. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. There were no appearance tickets issued this month. There were no dog bites reported this month. And we have 1 dangerous dog case under investigation at this time. We passed our 14th annual New York State Agriculture and Markets Inspection earlier this month. Beginning in December 2025, New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets is implementing a new shelter requirement and a program that goes along with it. And I'm in the process of reviewing it, and I will let the town board know as soon as I've got it figured out how that's going to impact us,
Okay.
if there'd be any budgetary changes. There's 2 things. There's space requirements that our current boarding facility doesn't meet, but neither does the local shelters in the area either, so we're going to figure that out. I want to thank the Hudson Valley SPCA in New Windsor for taking in this unclaimed stray dog that we got earlier this month, a beautiful white husky with blue eyes. I'm sure a lot of people saw it on Facebook. The environment has changed a lot with the shelters have been overrun, and it's, I think, largely the financial aftermath of the pandemic, people having to move and less places to take pets in. And on top of that, a lot of people got pets during the pandemic, and 2nd and 3rd pets. So I wanted to thank the Hudson Valley SPCA. They're not funded by any government agency. They're not required to take in animals. They took a dog out of county for us, and they left the door open to working with us in the future. So we established a pretty good rapport with them, spent some time with the director on Saturday. And we're going to try to help them with some fundraising as well. They're always in need of food, blankets, volunteers, and financial contributions. If any of the town residents wanted to do something, I would direct you to them or recommend that. And that's all. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, just to make clear, so it didn't, I'm thankful that Hudson Valley SPCA is not charging us for it, because we couldn't get Ulster County to take it.
Yeah.
But the dog was at Gardner for a few
Yeah.
weeks, so we do still have to pay that fee of $30 to $25 a day. So it wasn't totally free to us.
Right.
but
No, it was
the Hudson
not,
Valley
but-
SPCA was, so
but-
just So the
Now,
planning board's
where's
info.
Hudson Valley SPCA? Is that Orange County?
They're near the airport. If you go to the end of Route
Okay,
300 and
yeah.
take a right on, I think it's 207, is that?
Okay.
New
Thank you.
Little Britain Road.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have anything for Andrew? All right, thanks for attending,
All
Andrew.
right, thank you so much.
Okay, we'll move forward. You see, we'll go to Rich from the highway. Mr. Klotz.
Mr. Klotz.
Hey, John, you missed my brother was up.
Oh, thanks for calling me.
He's here for an hour. Good afternoon. Right now, we're just out playing in the cold, doing some cold patching. Every day gets warm a little bit, that's when they all pop. Got salt coming in. Had to restock the salt barn. Right now, I'm having a little problems with our gas pumps. Money came out, he got an earful. I don't know what it's gonna cost to replace them, but it's gonna be hefty. And I'm just saying, I think it should be split between all the departments that use it.
What,
Yeah, what happened?
is this, we had problems with this in the past, haven't we? We've had a couple problems before, didn't we, with gas
Oh,
pumps?
yeah, I mean, their, building was put up in what, 83?
Oh, okay, so they are all,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
They're
okay.
definitely
So
old.
they're still the original pumps, and I had problems last week. He came, got them going, but he says he can't get parts for them no more. So I called American Petroleum, who installed the fuel master, and he's gonna shoot me a quote on putting 2 new pumps in, so.
Yeah, let's see how much it is, and then if we have to go
Yeah.
out with bids, we'll have to do that.
Well, this is gonna be Sourcewell, so,
Oh, they're only sorts, okay.
yeah, because we're a member, so,
Okay,
and that's automatically did.
yep,
so.
got it.
And just hoping, I still didn't get all my quotes for my 284 agreement, so I'll have it, I should have them all in by next workshop meeting, and,
In March?
yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll go over that,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, I hadn't seen that yet.
yeah. Still waiting, you know, nobody wants to come out and look, because every time they come, it snows, so. All right,
Okay, any questions for Rich?
Just if you would,
Yeah.
thank Mike for putting that sign back,
Yeah.
Mike and whoever helped him.
yeah, no problem. All righty, anybody?
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay, thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Okay, you see Joan's report in here, a couple of things to note. You know, she was working with Gail Russell and Vivian Wadlin on some pictures, so I think that was good that, you know, she's doing that, and they have more knowledge than a lot of people in town. And Sean, the other thing on here is we still don't have the legal access to the slave cemetery. What do we need yet to do that? Because we found all the maps all the maps we had.
Best thing, we need some kind of description on the property that we have and the access we have to it. I mean, I don't know if we ask somebody to, a survey would be the best thing we could possibly have, then we could come into an agreement. I think they're willing to give us an agreement.
Yeah, I think so.
They're not denying access at this point.
No.
No, but
They
right
just
now-
want the,
but what they're looking for is an easement, to have an easement, the more
Right.
precise, the description of the easement.
so we need to get a survey, net. So, I mean, that's,
That would be the best. I mean, we could, I mean, what we have right now, it's not a real survey with a real description.
okay. Okay. All right, we'll move forward then. Chief Janso.
Good afternoon. In closing, you have a copy of our January 2025 report. I'm just going to skip over that and give you, since we didn't meet last month, excuse me, our stats for 2024, the yearly stats. For 2024, we had 14,777 calls of service, 464 accidents, 78 were personal injury, 386 were property damage. We issued 1,277 traffic tickets and 24 parking tickets. We had 255 arrests for the year. We had 6 overdoses, thank God non-fatal, and 1 Narcan use. So those numbers are really down on the overdoses. Again, we've really put a priority on our training for our members to keep them up to speed and probably ahead of most agencies now. Some of the training we do with photography and crime scene technicians, property and evidence room management courses, ATF ghost gun training, CPR and AED, defensive tactics and handcuffing, breath analysis operator training, CSX emergency response to railroad incidents, supervisor schools for 3 sergeants, car seat installation technician, radar school, taser instructor school, search warrant training, outlaw motorcycle gang awareness training, New York State Bridge Authority active shooter tabletop sessions, crisis intervention team instructor, use of force, and arson investigations. That's a lot of training into 1 year for a small department.
That's good.
And just to give it a little snaps of, our town has a population of about 11,000, probably a little more. 14 million vehicles crossed that Madison Bridge last year, 2024, 14 million. That's talking about going south and north throughout. The walkway brings over 500,000 people to our small town. Our department of 26 members is tasked every year, every day with the safety and security of our residents, visitors, and those that are passing through. My department did an exceptional well job. I want to thank the officers, the dispatchers, the town board, and our community for all the support, and the professionals of our department for 2024. Anybody have any questions?
No, I would say I personally appreciate what you guys do, and
Correct.
you know, you're out there, you're keeping us safe, and you know, there's some risk with that. So, I personally appreciate it, and you know, we'll
And
continue.
no
moving
officers'
forward.
injuries, nobody, everyone went home safe every night, so
Good.
we're blessed for that.
Anything?
Another question.
Mike has some.
I see, the overdose, you had 6 for the month?
No, 6 for the year.
Year.
Oh, for the year.
For the year.
Okay.
And like 2019, we had 18 overdoses and 2 fatals. So it's declined.
Aside from your normal duties as police officers or a police department, I truly appreciate the involvement you have with the community. You're like your Cops and Coffee monthly meeting
Thank you.
with the public. I think it's really appreciated, the different programs that you have involving residents, you know, that want to know about what you do, and it doesn't get a lot of recognition, but I think it's truly appreciated. I wish I
Thank you.
saw more participation
For
from the resident side, but thanks.
I appreciate it. And also Saturday, we have our Sub-Zero here, Alzheimer's Plunge at Berrien Park.
When's that, this coming week?
Saturday at 12
Oh,
o'clock.
I'm gonna have to miss that.
You
There'll be
jumping in?
there'll be videos of it.
Jumping in, boss?
No.
You know, if you collect $1,000 right now, the people in the room, you can really get something good out of it, Chief.
I saw that, I know.
We have 6 members jumping. We haven't done it in probably about 8 years. So I'm glad to see our guys coming together and doing something for the community and as a group. So wish us luck.
Is there open water, or are you gonna jump on the ice?
No, they cut, the dive team comes out Friday night and they cut it.
Cut it out?
And they come Saturday morning, recut it. But you
Keep
jump
going.
into about 4 feet of water.
God bless you.
So
I think we're in for another snowstorm on Saturday.
they're saying 36 degrees, but at that point, it doesn't really
Oh,
matter. We are going,
No, if you have to cut through to get to the water, it's too cold.
no.
It's just, it doesn't matter what temperature it is.
Oh, we
Good.
appreciate it, Jim.
Thank you,
Any
Chief.
questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. God bless you. Be safe out there.
Okay, Mr. Alfonso, Recreation and Buildings and Grounds.
Speaking of Berrien Park there, I do have a meeting Friday morning with the director of the Alzheimer's, so we're gonna go over some things, make sure everything's set up. And I do remember one year, it was canceled because it was too cold. I do remember that, and I think another year it was canceled because it was no way of getting up there because of a snowstorm, but most of the time, it's kind of like it is right here. So we did, our department did get a new truck, so Stephen's been using that. The other one's up at the highway to go out for auction. Buildings and Grounds did some painting down here, taking care of some things downtown, helping other departments. Also with the couple snowstorms we had, we're taking care of that. The parks are in pretty good shape. The ball fields are in good shape. In a month and a half, they'll be real busy. Youth programs have been in contact with me, are still looking, making sure they're coming back to use the facility. Right now, our youth basketball Saturdays is still going, and our adult basketball on Thursdays is still going. That'll go to mid-March. I know there's also an event in the rail trail, the Winterfest, this weekend. And then as far as staffing for Berry Ann Park and Summer Fun, my involvement with the school, I see all those kids, so they've been asking me, so we're gonna start collecting, I guess, applications for them and put together a staff for the summer. And yes, we are looking to do the swim lessons.
Yeah, that would be great if we can add
And get
that.
that going.
It would be even better if we can get somebody to run that concession
That
stand
is
again
true,
this year.
that is true.
I mean, one of these one of these groups who are looking to fundraise can it's just nice to have a presence there. You know, so if one of the groups, and I'll make this a public announcement, so if one of these groups who need to fundraise, if they want to run the concession stand at Berry Ann Park, they could keep all the profits. We don't want the profits.
Or Tony Williams. I mean, obviously,
Tony
we'd want one up
Williams, yeah.
there, but Tony Williams sits vacant for
I mean,
most of the.
especially if we're successful pulling off the swim lessons, that's
Yep.
6 weeks of people every day that
Yep.
are there, so. And I'd really be happy if we pulled swim lessons off, that'd be great again. The youth basketball, thanks to yourself, Tiffany, and the other crew, I stopped in there one day and it was packed, absolutely packed, so it's good to see that, you know, they're not, everybody isn't home on their devices they're out doing some sports, playing basketball, playing other stuff. So it's great. Anything we can add to, to the rec program, I think is great. So thank you. I appreciate it. Any questions for Frank?
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay, we'll move forward. Town clerk, Wendy?
Okay, records management. We are in desperate need of storage space. As you know, it's a growing issue.
Yes, we are.
I don't know if we could put a committee together or something together.
Yeah, I think we have to put a committee together just for the whole town hall space. We've outgrown this, Jim's group's already moved up to the fire station. If there's, I know it's a long-range plan thing, but yeah, I think we are to the point where we have to put something together. We have to figure it out. It's just,
Yeah,
we can't really bring one more person in here to even work if we needed it.
right. Taxes, for January payments, we collected $11,722,000. It was a busy month. The new county tax program has its challenges, to say the least. We've had a few hours on a few occasions where we were not even able to enter payments. We're getting through it, and it's finally February.
And are you probably told me this, but are you ahead or behind of?
So actually, when we did the final, we are just a hair ahead of last year.
Okay.
Not as much cash this year, or credit cards, not as much cash this year.
Okay.
Pay to Park, one of the kiosks is currently out of commission, and the other new kiosk has been delivered to Flowbird. Once they stage it and test it, they will schedule an installation. T2, who is our parking tickets, has started looking up addresses to send letters to people that have not paid their tickets. They will send out collection letters. And we have started selling the non-resident yearly permits.
Okay, good. That'll help, I think. Okay, great. Okay, anybody have questions for Wendy?
Nope, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, water and sewer, Adam?
Good afternoon, Adam Littman, Administrator for Town of Lloyd Water and Sewer. So, the polar plunge, speaking of that, if my guys haven't done it already, they need to steal your ramp and try and get it up to the reservoir, which I'm running out of time. Okay, so hopefully if they haven't gotten that done, we're gonna get that done very soon. No. They might slip and fall in with all the ice, but I wouldn't call that a trial run. Okay, so starting with water, river water's making up about 98% of daily production. Wells are providing the remaining 2%. Water table's still low, so we have them on a reduced time schedule. Water production has been averaging about 10 hours per day, which is down a little bit. The river had a nice ice cap on it. It wasn't affected by the wind, so some of the turbidities were down. Bad news, we have earth care pumping sludge from the backwash tank at the water plant again. Our polymer mixer malfunctioned. It broke, caused the sludge to back up in the centrifuge, caused damage to the main drive end of the centrifuge, and clogged the internals. It's been great. Greg Palmetier has managed to get all the drive end removed, brought to the machine shop. We had the work done. That's been put back together. We're still trying to get the internals unclogged. The parts for the polymer mixer are on order. Some of them arrived this week, but they didn't send the O-rings. So we're pumping again next week. As some may know, the Verizon landline went out of service the Saturday before last. It affected our control signals for the river pumps. We had to switch over to reservoir water and then a blend of reservoir and river water. This lasted about 5 days. It is a reminder of what's to come with that line when they retire it.
Yeah, that's just for the board, for everybody's information, and this is something Adam and I have been looking at, and I know Lenny also. The plant was built in 1983. I mean, all the controls up there are still analog. You need this line to tell the pump when to start down the river. So we need to put a project together to replace the controls up there. The last time we had it looked at, the engineering report, that was part of the whole, what was a $5-6 million upgrade that we've been putting on grants in, and we have not been successful with any of them. But I think what we're gonna have to do is split that piece of the controls out. It's about $400,000 to $500,000 worth of work, and figure out how to get that one done. Because to me, being on analog in 2025 just doesn't cut it. So, we have to modernize that piece first, and then we'll go forward with the rest of it. So I've talked to John Davidson at Bernier and Larios to see if he could split that out, and then I'll try and put in some grants for just that one piece. Maybe it'll be easier to get, a less amount, but I'm not gonna count on getting a grant. We're gonna have to figure out how to get it done, so. We need to pull that out. We need to get that done. We need to start modernizing that.
It would definitely be a very important part of the entire equation up there.
Right.
We have had problems with the analog system years ago. I think you were on the board at the time when we had to pay $17,000 for a new cassette because one day it forgot what to do. It can happen. And Saturday was kind of a trial to try and start those pumps through their own control panels down below. It was very difficult to figure out. I read books for about 7-8 hours. We didn't really want to mess with them because it doesn't take too much to offset the programming. They are soft start pumps. So there's a lot of programming that goes into the control panel down there. We had to have an electrician come down and assist us. It took about 4 hours to get it figured out, and that's only one pump because you can only start one, let it run, and we had enough reservoir water to actually do a blend. So it's important that we get this going. Road crew. So we're still having issues with the Bridgeview pump station. That's all I got for that. The crew's been cleaning up outside the storage area at the pump station in preparation for the generator. I'm hoping that they're gonna do the slab when the weather breaks. That was one part of the project. Central Hudson's supposed to do the gas line install. We have to have all that stuff out of the way. The gas meter is rather large and they wanna put everything in an area that's pretty congested, so they've been working on that. Sewer department, it's the normal daily operations with the exception of the winter seasons cause a lot of freeze-ups and equipment breakdown. The guys have been very busy chipping ice and thawing things out and keeping things turning round and round. Our new truck arrived, the new pickup truck this week. I haven't had a chance to put it on the road. That's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Notice you skipped water main repairs, so you had 5 so far this year,
Yes, sorry about that.
all up in this area here.
Yeah, they had, in the last month and a half, 2 months, they've had 2 on Smith Terrace, 1 on Reservoir Road, 1 on North Road, and those are the ones I can remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
North Road was kind of a strange situation. The water main had broke. The water main's buried in shale and all that stuff in there. So what happened is that water main probably broke and had been running for a while, so it washed all the sediment into one of the manholes that was 5 or 6 feet away, causing the collection system to fill
Right.
up with silt. So we had to have an emergency cleaning and vacuuming of that because it's not something our trailer could handle. So it was a rather long day up there.
Just a normal week in the water and sewer
At
department.
this time of the year, it is a very normal
It's
week.
Another week in January.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of work to do. We do appreciate your guys being out when it's 5 below in a hole where the water's gushing out at them, so make sure you
Yes,
let them know
okay.
we do appreciate that.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Adam. Give those guys our best.
Will do.
Okay, we're gonna move forward, a couple, old business, couple of items. All the EV stations have been replaced, they're up and running. I think the ones in the main parking lot here were finished on Monday. I have seen some use. I don't expect to see as much use now that they're pay for charge, but they're up, they're running, and I think we have an agenda item to look at putting some on Haviland Road also in the rail trail parking lots. So that was progress. Let's move forward. Also, on the undergrounding of the utilities, we've been talking about this. We got the grant to underground the utilities on Main Street and remove the poles on Vineyard so we don't have poles and wires overhanging. And I met with Central Hudson today. They're almost finished with the final design, so which is good news. There's final design. It looks like the initial estimates are within the grant parameters, which is good. So as soon as we get the final design, we'll go forward back to FEMA where we got the grant from, so that we can move forward going out to bids. And then there's a lot of coordination work about with moving services once they do that, and when we do it, how we trench it, how we don't impact the daily working of the businesses in downtown. I mean, when it's done, it'll be great. You won't have telephone poles and wires hanging all over the downtown. So, but there's probably going to be a slight inconvenience while we're doing it, like any big project. So, but we have made progress with it, and then once that's done, we'd like to also, we're waiting on DOT right now to approve or to answer us back on the streetscape project, which we're trying to coordinate these two projects so that once the utilities are buried underground, we can do all the sidewalk work in town. So a lot going on, and that'll be a lot of coordination also. But it's moving forward. I think that's the big thing. I had, Central Hudson was in here today with Peter Cristiano from Barton L. Judas, who has the streetscape project. So he's kind of trying to coordinate both of them for us. So any questions on that, just, the board or anybody has, just feel free to reach out to me. I've been kind of doing most of the project management and reviews myself with the Central Hudson and consultant team. Okay. We'll move forward to new business now, and I know Dave's been talking with the planning board, and we've talked about it at the tri-board with a couple bulk table amendments that we want to go forward with, and I'll let Dave explain what we're trying to do.
Thank you. Yeah, this will be quick. You've all seen this, and most of you were at the tri-board meeting, both tri-board meetings when we talked about building height. In the Highway Business District, it is proposed to have a possible maximum building height of 50 feet. So the range will be from 35 feet to 50 feet. The 35 feet would be in effect for 300 feet from the center line of 9W. Again, Highway Business District is only basically from Max Lane South, Chapel Hill South on 9W. There are actually, I think, only one or two parcels where the 50-foot could apply. And the 50-foot would only apply 300 feet or more from the center line of 9W. I brought this to the planning board. This is us playing catch-up from the tri-board meetings, as you recall. I brought this to the planning board at this month's meeting, January's meeting, and they were unanimously in favor. So 50-foot, I heard a couple of numbers that were higher than that, but this is what we talked about, in the tri-board meeting. So the bulk table will amend. You'll see on the second page, on this page, the bulk table will amend on the Highway Business District. You see it goes from 35 to 50 with a footnote. The footnote points to limited 35 feet or 2.5 stories within 300 foot of 9W, up to 50 foot further than 300 feet. The other change proposed is about manufacturing uses in GB zones. And what that does is it increases the buffer if they abut a residential district. This is similar to what we did in the ag district, if you recall, about increasing the buffer and making it a wooded buffer. So this would, the lot lines that abut residential zones, a fully wooded and planted buffer of 50 feet must be installed, and then the building setback is increased to 125 feet with no outside storage. Are there questions?
Just a couple comments, Dave.
Yep.
So on the buffer, I think what happens in some of these cases is as the town changes, some of these setbacks, et cetera, when they were originally put in place, there may have been residential properties behind them with no residences there. And as you get residents in, and then you look back at your zoning and say, wow, we have this general business or this warehouse or whatever it is, and there's residential right behind it. So you want to now change it to say,
That's
okay,
exactly
we want to
right.
buffer that out so
Right.
that, so that it's
protect
not
the
an
residents.
impact. So
Right,
it's
right.
much less of an impact. So I think that's a good thing to do. And I think on the 35 to 50 feet thing, two things I want to bring up about that. I don't think there's many parcels in that zone that,
It's one or two. I can think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
There might be another one just further south of that.
Yeah.
Of the Chapel Hill intersection, but I don't have the map with me, so I
Yeah,
can't
and the
speak to
point I
it.
was gonna make on that, the one thing that I know everybody's been asked, not everybody, but many people have been asking about is why don't you get a quality hotel in the town? You got the Walkways, you got tourism, and everybody goes to Poughkeepsie and stays, or goes to New Paltz. And if you can't get to 4 stories, you're probably not gonna get a quality
No
one in.
brand, no brand hotel will
Or
go.
no brand hotel will come, so,
Is that the magic number, four
For,
stories?
so, yeah, there's an economy of scale, right? If you get, it's a type of building that has to be sprinklered. And
Right.
sprinklers for a building like that are very expensive. The actual construction is expensive, but, if it's a 2-story building, it's manageable. Once you get to 3 stories or more, the ROI, the return on investment, at 3 stories is actually worse than it is at 4 stories. So if you want a brand, and these brand, I mean, I don't know if anybody has ever worked in, like a marketing area for a company. They know their product, down to the last nail. They know exactly what it's going to cost, whatever market they're looking at. They know the number of rooftops they need. People always joke about in this town about, they want a Walmart or something, or some big box store. And we always said, they're not going to come here.
Not enough rooftops.
There's not enough rooftops. There's just not enough people to feed that store with money, in effect. So in this instance, we do have the rooftops and what did you say, 500,000 people for the walkway alone, 14 million cars,
right.
pass through this area. It's a lot of people who could, some of those cars might be traveling.
Sure.
All right, so, and we've always, let me put it this way. If you look around town at the hotels we have and the motels we have, I think we could all agree we need a nicer hotel.
Yeah, and if you look at something like, if you look at the Hampton in New Paltz, that's 4 stories high, and it
stories,
does
yep.
not look at it, does
Yep.
not look like that. So I think the visual of being 300 feet back is what,
And that's why we
is what makes it okay to me.
Yeah,
If
'cause
it wasn't 300 feet back,
if
it
it was
would
on
be
the
a problem.
road, it'd be a different
Right,
animal.
exactly right.
Setback.
So at least that's my comments. I don't know if the board has any other questions or concerns.
Thank you very much.
So if you're amenable and interested, digest it for 2 weeks, and if you're interested, we can set up, if you're interested, we can set a public hearing for March, and then maybe we could do it at the 19th, your regular meeting on the 19th.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So what need a resolution, Sean, for
Yeah,
that?
with the resolution, set a public hearing,
Right.
for that regular meeting
Correct,
for
correct.
the February meeting.
Good, I have the EAF done, I'll send it to you.
Okay,
Okay,
March meeting.
yeah, March meeting, yeah.
okay.
Good? Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Dave.
you, Dave.
Thank you.
Any other new business from the board, or? If not, we'll move to privilege to the floor. Is there anybody here tonight that would like to speak or address the board? Okay, if not, we'll move forward to motions and resolutions. So Resolution A is to approve the following budget amendments, move funds from for postage, and you can see it listed there. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Resolution B, this again is for the EV stations on Haviland Road. So town wishes to enter an agreement with DVM Industries to furnish and install 5 Level 2 EV charging stations at 87 Haviland Road with no upfront costs to the town. They'll, again, just like the ones we have now, DVM will own and operate. And they will keep the 10% of the fee, which is $3 to plug in and 35 cents per kilowatt hour for electric vehicle charging. And then they will send us a check for a franchise fee monthly. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Any discussion? Yeah, Peter?
It's 75 Hammond.
75 Haviland Road. I had the wrong date, okay. We'll have to update that, thank you. 75, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Resolution C is to appoint William Van Cleek to the Senior Water Treatment Plant Operator position at the Town of Lloyd Water Department, a rate of $33.73, effective February 8th per hour, effective February 8th, 2025. The recommendation of Adam Lippman, wastewater administrator, as Mr. Van Cleek has successfully completed all of his licensing qualifications.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, congratulations to Mr. Van Cleek on completing that. D is resolution to hire Holly Snyder as a part-time dispatcher at a rate of $20.47 per hour with a start date of February 6, 2025, at the recommendation of Chief James Shanso.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And is this Holly right here? Hi, Holly. Normally we do these up front for Jim to get, so we can get him and you out of here, but I didn't, it was my fault, I didn't notice it, but congratulations.
She's a graduate of our police academy, Civilian Academy 2024, so it piqued his interest there. And we welcome her to our department.
And a hometown girl.
Yes,
Hometown and
33 years.
33 years, okay. Fantastic. So welcome to town. I'm sure you do a great job and appreciate it. Oh, Mark's gonna get a picture of you.
Thanks. And one more thing, we also have our police department representing the Chili Fest at the Winter Festival.
So you got polar plunge and chili on the same day.
right, so you go get,
Yes, it comes in handcuffs, so.
you go get chilled out and then get some hot chili.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations and best of luck.
Congratulations, Holly.
Congratulations,
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Okay, Resolution E, this is, I won't read this whole thing, but it's resolution, it's really a right-of-way for Central Hudson to put some gas lines in, correct, or?
Yeah, it's just granted, it's the enter into an easement agreement to grant a right of way for Central Hudson.
Okay.
Some improvements.
And where is this again? This is on,
Isn't it down by the, I thought it was Van Cleef, I'm sorry, across the street. Yeah,
yeah, by being Cardi's, right, this goes right through there. So I won't read the whole thing, but Central Hudson Gas and Electric has requested town convey a gas right away to them, and you can see the SBLs there. The town's willing to do that. We've looked at it. There's no impact to us. Determine that the matter constitutes an unlisted seeker, and we filled out the, part 1 and part 2 has been prepared, and we filled that out and handled that. Town board wishes to approve and authorize to grant the right-of-way. Therefore, it's resolved that town board has determined that the grant of gas line right-of-way between Central Hudson and the town has no significant environmental impact, and hereby issues a neg deck pursuant to Part 16 New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, and the proposed right-of-way between Central Hudson and Town of Lloyd, a copy of which is attached, is granting easement and right-of-way to Central Hudson Gas and Electric for the Town of Lloyd is approved. The resolution is subject to permissive referendum, and the town clerk shall publish a notice containing information required in Town Law Section 90 within 10 days after adoption of this resolution in the official newspaper of the town, which notice shall set forth the date of adoption and a copy of the said resolution. This resolution is not final and shall not take effect until 30 days after the passage, provided no petition is filed with the town clerk pursuant to Law Section 91, requesting a special election. If an election is so requested, the resolution shall not take effect until affirmative vote is rendered by the voters entitled to vote in the town of Lloyd. Upon this resolution becoming final and taking effect, The supervisor is then authorized to sign the grant of gas lines right away on behalf of the town, as well as any other documents necessary to effectuate the granting and filing of said easements and right away. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Move forward with that. Motion F. Okay, this is a motion for the town board to create a comprehensive plan implementation committee. The committee's goal will be to assess, monitor, and assist the town board to achieve the goals and objectives of the comp plan, which we approved in December. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Just want to say, I will say that we spent a lot of time on the new comp plan, 2.5 years. You know, we had a lot of people work on it. We, you know, we're proud to get it done in December. And I've seen comp plans in the past where they were done and they sat idle and there wasn't a lot of follow through on them. So, you know, one of the recommendations from our consultants and, you know, a good, just being good project managers, we want to put this committee in place to help us make sure we get the goals and the objectives being moved forward, because it's no good if that doesn't happen. So, so that's the kind of the reason for putting this committee in place. So if there's no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, and now the motion is to appoint citizen volunteers to the Comprehensive Plan Implementation Committee are Alyssa Fasano, Jessica Van Houten Kenny, Kathy Rott Jacobson, Sean Williams, and Lacey Maffei.
Motion.
A second? Okay, and discussion point, Kathy's here, so this is Kathy right here. Jessica was gonna come, but apparently a door dropped on her head, so she's not coming today, so she says she's gonna be all right. Sean is here, and Sean, I didn't realize that, you know, you're the only male on this committee. And you have 4 very intelligent, very respected other participants with you, so I'm sure you'll survive it. I'm sure you'll survive it, so, and we appreciate it. So can I get a motion?
Motion.
I did a motion already. Can I get a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Congratulations, and we'll set up time to go through with the committee and myself and anybody else on the board that wants to do that, maybe in a week or two. Everybody has the 400-page document. You can commit to memory first, and then we'll go from there. Oh, you got it there. Okay. Appreciate it. I do appreciate any, as you know, I do appreciate anybody who volunteered to help the town out. Okay, motion H. This is a resolution between the Town of Lloyd Board and the Town of Lloyd Highway Department and New Paltz Rescue Squad. The town currently in a contract with New Paltz Rescue Squad to provide ambulance service to town residents, and whereas an effort to reduce expenses and maintain efficient service, NPRS has requested the ability to purchase gasoline from the town's highway department for their rescue ambulance vehicles, providing service within the town of Lloyd, whereas the town of Lloyd Highway Department has agreed to allow NPRS to purchase gasoline from the town at the same price the highway is paying for the period gasoline purchased by NPRS, whereas the town of Lloyd Highway Department wishes to memorialize the agreement in writing. Now therefore, it's in consideration of the mutual confidence contained herein and other good and valuable consideration, including consideration in the current contract between the town and NPRS. The parties agree as follows. NPRS will be given access to town Highway Department's facility and issued purchase cards to be used at the Highway Department's facility to purchase gas for rescue ambulance vehicles providing ambulance services within the town of Lloyd. On a monthly basis, the Highway Department will provide an invoice to the town to be paid by the town for gasoline purchased by NPRS for the period billed, and the Highway Department will bill the gas at the rate paid by the Highway Department. The town will provide an invoice to New Paltz Rescue Squad on a monthly basis at the same rate as set forth on the Highway Department's invoice to the town, and NPRS will pay the amount invoiced to the town within 30 days of receipt. This agreement may be terminated by any of the parties on 10 days written notice to other parties. And it may be executed in multiple counterparts, each of which shall be considered to be original documents.
So it looks like this is the actual agreement.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't send the resolution down? So actually, this is a resolution to approve this agreement.
Right. That's what I was looking for, yeah. So,
I make the motion to approve this agreement just read.
Well, resolution to enter into agreement, that's not good enough.
Well, yeah, I think that's fine.
what's that?
All right, resolution to
Okay.
enter to the agreement.
Okay, so, right. So I need a motion on.
Motion.
On the resolution. Okay, second? Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Question.
So, I'm sorry, discussion. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
New Falls Rescue, they're a nonprofit,
They're nonprofit.
Yes.
They have a similar setup with the town of New Paltz for their New Paltz ambulances. That's what made them come to us and ask for it.
with their highway department?
With the town, wherever the town of New Paltz, I don't know if they go through their highway
SUNY,
department or
they
whatever.
go through SUNY.
Oh, they go through SUNY there.
So they don't go through the town, they go through.
They go through
SUNY, but
SUNY in that
it's another public entity.
But can we do that? That's highway money that we're gonna be utilizing.
Well, actually, Mike asked me to do some, John asked me to do some research on it. And you actually can, because we had a question on it too.
Yeah.
Because Ritchie Highway has a separate budget, and that is just allocated for highway roads.
Right, but it's not subsidizing them, because the highway's gonna get reimbursed.
They get
The way it's
paid
gonna
for
work is, highway's gonna, invoice the town will invoice the ambulance squad, because the town has the agreement with the ambulance squad. So the town's gonna reimburse highway, and the town will get reimbursed by the ambulance squad, and they have a contract with the ambulance squad.
Every 30 days?
Yes.
Every month, yeah. Once
Yeah,
a month.
monthly billing.
Once a month. It's very similar to our police department and everybody else who gets gasoline from Ritchie. He charges that department back.
So are we kind of setting a precedent here? I mean,
No?
Well, it's, the theory is that it's in consideration of the contract and the fact that they're providing service to the town, and you're keeping their economies low to provide the service to the town at the rate that they do.
Right.
but that was never negotiated when the contract was signed. This is after the contract.
Right, it technically is, so it's, the consideration is, past consideration to some degree. And in the future, if you do this, we should include it, you're absolutely right,
Yep.
in the language in the contract itself.
Providing we contract with a
With New Paltz,
not-for-profit.
yeah, right.
If we,
Not-for-profit,
if we
right.
contract with another ambulance company that's for-profit, that's a different story.
You absolutely would not do that, right?
You wouldn't do it. You can't.
Sales tax.
In this case, you can.
Right. Since they're not for profit in their contract with us, we can do it.
You have anything to say, Richie, or?
He's already said it.
Yeah, we had the discussion with Rich.
We've met.
We met with Sean.
Had
We made
discussions
sure
with
what we were
everybody.
doing was legal. And if it could help them, and look, they're providing great service for us, so if we can help keep the costs low, it's a benefit. At the end of the day, it's a benefit to the town.
At the end of the
Also.
day.
I also spoke with Denise today, and she belongs to the Highway Superintendent Secretary's organization, much like my town clerk's organization, and she polled her entire organization, and several of the other towns do the same thing.
Yeah, because other towns, like Saugerties has Diaz, which is a nonprofit, and some others. So I think at the end of the day, it's a net win for, it's a win-win for both,
Yeah,
so.
ultimately, it's a benefit to the town.
Yeah.
Because if they maintain their costs and keep their costs low, the cost to us remains low. Right,
Okay.
right.
Any other discussion? If not, let's do a roll call, Wendy, on this.
You did.
We got
Okay,
this.
Frano,
Yes.
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody,
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Okay, resolution I is, and this is, again, all the, at the beginning of the year, we're straightening out all the accounts, with, moving money from one account to another, to get our starting point correct for the year. So you can see all the codes here. So it's a resolution to approve the following budget amendments for general. Is I, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Why don't I just do them all, I'm sorry.
Yeah, do them all
Why don't I just do them
together.
So I is for general, J is for highway, K is a resolution for water, and L is a resolution for sewer. So can I get a motion for all four of the resolutions?
Motion again.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, and then I think the last thing we had, we want to add this resolution for the pavilion,
Yes,
John?
we do, yeah, we'd like to get moving on it. Yeah, this came out kind of last minute, so I don't know if you guys got this.
I got it.
You all got this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't we do the resolution, then we can have the discussion. Right. So the resolution to, as quotes for the enclosure framing above the bathrooms and the siding of it. And John went out and got 4 quotes, so the resolution is to approve. I believe you want to take Mark Feinberg Construction is the lowest bid to put to build the roof and the siding on top of the bathroom building. So can I get a motion?
Motion?
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion or anything you want to explain, John?
Yeah, I would. As you know, back in December, the Bruderhof agreed that they are committed, that they would do this work for us if the town bought the material. Well, it went to mid-December, late December, mid-January, and Monday I get a call. I've been following up with them. Monday I get a call saying, we're sorry, our team, we have to decommit. So kind of left us, we lost 6 weeks, and it kind of left us hanging. So we got got names of some local contractors. The first one who was up on the list, the high bidder, I did not meet with them. The Bruderhof actually brought them in and showed them the job, and they submitted a quote. Wendy, I do have copies of all the quotes. And then I met with the other 4 contractors. We had Sean involved over the phone. We had some questions. And the final proposals came in this afternoon. And again, I feel comfortable with Feinberg Construction. He has the insurance, the requirements for the town. He's ready to start probably early next week. He's doing a job in Kerhonkson right now, but he said he could start early next week, and he'd probably be wrapped up in 3 days. I felt very comfortable. I've checked with a couple of people that he did work for, got very positive reviews, so I'm comfortable with him.
Okay, so any other discussion?
He answered the question.
Roll call, Wendy, on this?
Frano,
Yes?
Plavcheck,
Yes.
Akmoody,
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
Thank you.
Any other business for the board? Anybody have anything else? Sean, anything else for
Thank
us?
you.
Nothing? Okay, if not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, meeting adjourned. Thank
Thank
you
you,
all.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Kathy and Sean, thanks for stopping by.
That corner where we recommend in the box, I have a sewer line there. So
Yeah, that's why they want you to call them. They want.
yeah, I don't know, it comes in on that corner. Go ahead.
There's a 2 amendments, right? That's when we started.
Right, Howard, thank you. Thank you. Great shot. Hey, Kathy, John, one thing, I'll get an email out, so all 5 of you maybe will find a night, like 2 weeks from now. I may be out most likely, and then we
that's, I'm not involved in that.
Appreciate it, thank you.
I'm not sure what, that's, Mike might know, that was the one with the apartment with the, I'm involved in, so what's, yeah, I don't know. Lockhart Lane. One Lockhart Lane.
Hi, Richard. Good seeing you.
All right, bye, Rich. Hey, Rich, we'll work on those gas pumps.
On Friday, I don't know what.
Just get close. If they're not old, just get close. Yeah, you have to crank ones. I got the diapers all around. If they're 1980.
I feel very well. Baby chair.